competitive. And now, here's Rob Dibble.
No, but you give up a 3-run home run to the home team in the first inning, and it's kind of like you're chasing that 3, and Severino just never recovered, neither did the New York Yankees, as they got one hit shut out by the Atlanta Braves. But we had Dom Mori on last hour, and he was talking about something that we forget from time to time, even though they won 99 games last year. This team, the New York Yankees, over their last 69 games, they were 35-34. They were a 500 team and basically backed into the playoffs last year and got eliminated early. Over their last 189 games, they're 95-94 with their 60-60 record through 120 games. So, I mean, listen, it's not a testament to the team on the field. This is a testament to the front office and their inability to either draft talent like the Orioles, who still have more talent coming in their minor league system, or the Tampa Bay Rays, or some of these other organizations that continue to draft. I mean, nobody ever gives the Dodgers enough credit. Dodgers are unbelievable at bringing up talent from the minor leagues.
Pretty consistent.
Yeah, I mean, they always find gems. So that's the people that are hired to do the job, which is evaluate talent at the amateur level, whether it's overseas, whether it's the international draft, any of that kind of stuff. You have to be better than your opponents. And so, saying that, well, you know what, we're just not executing on the field, we're just not bringing our A game. You could say a lot of that stuff, but when I look around the Yankees outfield, infield, they don't have a good team. It's not well balanced on defense. It's not well balanced on offense. Their pitching staff is just shambles because of the fact that you really went out and got a guy, and it's not Cashman's fault that Rendon started the season and was hurt. Not his fault. You can't control that. But some of these other cats, Germán, Severino, and the fact that these guys just with their stuff are not performing, that's either on the coaching staff or that's on these gentlemen. And then you look around. DJ LeMahieu with the one hit last night, he's hitting 240. 240. This guy should be hitting at least 290. So some of these players are so they're playing so below their potential and so where they should be. Gleyber Torres, I think that's where Gleyber Torres should be. He's like a 250 hitter. He's going to hit you 20, 25 home runs a year, drive in 70 to 80. He's going to play shoddy defense from time to time, make some spectacular times because he's an athlete. But do I think that he's a future middle infielder for the Yankees? No. The Yankees get stars to play those positions. They get stars to play center field. The Gardners that run through walls for you. Do you see anybody that resembles a Brett Gardner out there? Not a chance. Not a chance. And I thought LeMahieu was going to be that guy for 10 years. 3 years after he gets here, and all of a sudden, this guy falls into oblivion. Aaron Judge, often hurt. What did he do this year? He's the same guy. Giving him $350 million didn't make him bulletproof. No, he missed 50 games, and you suffered through it. But that's, you clamored for it, you got it. Okay, Stanton. Here's the thing that I heard yesterday. Derek Jeter's going to be your next general manager.
I've heard this.
How good was Derek Jeter with the Marlins? Not that good.
He's
not
part
that
of
good.
The Stanton deal.
He is part of the Stanton deal that sent Stanton here to his team that he won all those championships on. So I'm not impressed with Derek Jeter. I think he's a great baseball player. Don't think these guys can just step in and be general managers. It's not that easy. This is, going back to Gene Michael and how he built the Yankees. Valuation. Like I do at 14U baseball. And it's embarrassing. You're professionals. So, the Yankees are part of the problem, but they right now, they resemble what they built. They built a one-dimensional team on offense. They have a awful defense and guys that just shouldn't be in certain positions. When you have a Gold Glove shortstop playing an outfield position, I have no respect for you. I don't. So imagine me as a former player. Imagine a team playing you. And as I watch the Atlanta Braves hit the other way, spray the ball all over the field, they're trying to hit it where your defense isn't. They're smart enough to understand that. So as you give up 16 runs and score 3 in 2 games, you have to look at yourself and say, in the mirror, and go, we're not well built. And who's responsible for that?
Well, let's hear it from Aaron Boone and get the real facts from the coach.
This is on the Severino.
Oh, this is how he pitched last night?
Yeah, what I mean for you guys to listen to is just how his mood and everything, and he's trying to put a good face on it.
Always.
Just not good enough. I think DJ squared up a ball for the base hit up the middle. The one thing we saw with Sevy tonight, we saw some swing and miss, and that's something we haven't seen really obviously lately, but he had stuff tonight, and you could tell he was, having his way a lot of the night, which was good to see. And then I think he pitched carefully to Olsen there with the base open and falling behind the count, which I was fine with, and then looked like a hanging slider probably that they hit out of the ballpark, and it's, here we go. I thought after that, I thought he threw the ball well. Again, a lot of swing and miss. I thought it's as good as stuff that I've seen, meaning I just thought the life was there. It just felt more conviction. I actually think he felt like he was building a little momentum there, and then Acuna catches him to kind of end the outing. Not a good line, but I think that was a much better Sevy than we've seen.
That's a great PR spin on a horrible night. The way I look at it, you got 12 outs on 83 pitches. Your ERA actually went down because it was so high. It was over 8. 2 walks, 5 Ks, not as awful as trying to move the ball around. But with your stuff, you don't have to pitch around Matt Olson. Matt Olson strikes out enough for you to challenge that guy with your major league stuff. So the attitude is we're just trying to get through to the bullpen. We're trying to get 15 outs. We're trying to get 18 outs so we can turn it over to our already exhausted bullpen. As it was, you had 4 guys that had to come in and pitch behind Severino because he only got 12 outs. So that's when I look at this, just as an analyst, I'm not looking at this because I dislike the Yankees. I'm looking at this like I'll look at any game and say, well, this is what I see. I see way too much work. Even Elder. Elder, as far as, getting 21 outs, he still threw 94 pitches, but he only threw 58 strikes. He's nibbling. He's nibbling because his stuff isn't as good as Severino. So my point being is Severino can pump it in there and challenge dudes. What was I telling you about the kid I coached in high school, Phil Bickford?
Yeah.
The reason these kids or players, and I call them kids because they're 30 years younger than me.
They're kids.
But to me, when I look at them, and I coached them when he was 16, 17, 18 years old, I used to tell him the same thing I would tell him as his major league pitching coach right now. Stop throwing so many off-speed pitches. You're helping these guys. You throw 97, challenge these guys. They're going to make outs. Half of the major leagues is hitting below 250. Take the percentages. You want to do analytics? I'll do analytics with you all day. All stinking day. Okay, you get 0-2 on anybody in the major leagues gets what the batting average is. 0-60.
Yeah.
0-60. So throw strikes. Stop nibbling. So when I hear my manager now saying, well, that's one of his better outings of giving up 5 runs, 3 earned runs, because that's some of the shoddy defense behind you, but 83 pitches to get 12 outs, I would go to my pitching coach, Matt Blake, who is a sequencing genius, and say, we sequenced 83 pitches to get 12 outs? That sucks. That sucks. Why are we doing that? So this is what's facing a lot of these major league clubs where we're scared to do what we're supposed to do. I was paid to get you out. When I melted down was when you wanted me to walk somebody intentionally or you wanted me to pitch around some. I don't pitch around anybody, dude, or else I go back to the minor leagues. There's other leagues for you if you're scared to pitch in the big league. So that's what I see when I see German, who has amazing stuff. It's not, amazing enough stuff to throw a perfect game. But 9 out of 10 times after that was like garbage. You know why? Because someone else is telling that guy what to do. Instead of him believing in what he should be doing, Someone's giving you advice. That's so. Let me tell you what I learned in the minor leagues. When I learned in the minor leagues that my major league catchers are giving me advice on what I should throw, but the pitch that I throw is determined by me and nobody else but me. So when it came from the bench and they made me throw 20 fastballs in a row, I went after them and said, hey, you're not out there. I'm out there. These guys are all looking for my fastball. If I keep throwing it, they're eventually going to catch up to it, and they would. So for me to simplify this with Severino or any of these other guys that have, swing and miss stuff, how about you throw more of your swing and miss stuff and stop throwing stuff that they're hitting all over the field?
I think Garrett Cole is going to be the one that breaks. I think Garrett Cole is going to Hal McRae snap. And I think that is the perfect thing for this team. Like the coddling stuff and the making it sound like you did a great job with a couple of hard hit foul balls. Like it's not working. Hasn't worked since you've been here. And I think Boone's past the point of PR now. Like you got to go Hal McRae snapped. If you do that and they fire you, they're probably going to fire you anyway, man. If you do that and they fire you, the fan base is going to rage against you getting fired because you said the truth.
Okay, so Joe Torre had Mel Stottlemyre. Okay, Mel pitched in the major leagues, was amazing when he pitched. Okay, so now Mel and having kids that pitched in the major leagues knows what he's talking about, and there's no disrespect to Matt Blake. Matt Blake has never stepped on that mound and knows what he's doing. My pitching coach, Stan Williams, he pitched with Drysdale and Koufax.
Yeah.
Okay, so when Stan Williams came out to the mound, I showed him respect because he deserved it. And when he said, what are you doing? Stop fooling around and get this dude out because that's what you're getting paid to do. So that the difference is coddling, and that's brilliant by you. They're coddling these guys for mediocre performances. Where Mel Stottlemyre would have gotten in your face and go, you're embarrassing us and the team. Get the hell off the mound.
I just see the blow up in the Marlins game that Cole pitches and you lose the game.
Right.
And you get and he he's taken out of the game.
Brilliant for 21 outs.
He can't do anything about it, and he has to sit there and watch the meltdown. Last night, and you're saying he's the guy that's actually talking to Severino.
Well, that's where I wanted to go with what you said. So he is finally snapping in his way.
Yeah.
In his way, he's like, I can't listen to another thing from Matt Blake. I got to talk to Severino. Dude, listen, you just gave up that 3-run home run. You know why you gave up that 3-run home run? Because you weren't convinced that the pitch you were about to throw was the one you should throw. That's when. So when I even teach a 12-year-old kid, be convicted and convinced that this is what I want to throw. I don't care what the catcher puts down. I don't care what some daddy ball guy tries to tell you to throw. If you don't throw what you want to throw, you're going to give it up. And so as you progress, that's where we talk about tipping pitches and doing certain things that give it away. But for Severino, dude, I've told you this story before. Jose Rijo would tell guys what's coming. He had so much lack of respect for you. He'd say, here's a fastball. You think you can hit me? You want to cheat from second base? I'll tell you what's coming and you can't hit it. That's respect. That's when I respected my peer. And Norm Charlton or Randy or any of these other guys, they would go out there and they would be like, listen, you think you can hit me? You can't hit me. You can't hit this. So when I see a lot of these guys today, I see them, their wheels are spinning in their head that I don't think I can get this dude out. You shouldn't be out there then. But if you watch Max Scherzer or you watch Verlander, I don't care if Verlander's a diva. I really don't. The dude is convinced you can't hit me even at 40. Do you think Nolan Ryan at 46 thought anybody in the major leagues could hit him?
Right.
And when they did, what did he do with the next guy? He drilled you. You know why? Because I'm going to make your life a living hell. You're going to be so uncomfortable you don't want to come back here. And that's what you want. You want your pitchers to all be convinced that our job is to make them uncomfortable so they don't want to come back here. And here's the thing that, you know what Cone said in the pregame? He said, I want to see more balls up and in on the Braves. I want to see them off balance. I want to see them uncomfortable. Because David Cone, the only guy Chris Sabo didn't want to face was David Cone. The only guy that Chris Sabo, I'm not going to say was afraid of, but had so much respect for that he had more game than he did, would say, you know what, Coach, I don't want to play against Cone today. This will be my scheduled day off. So that's what I'm talking about in simplistic form is, dude, go out there with an attitude, a swagger, and stop with the nonsense and the Matt Blake sequencing and the pitch comm. How about, hey, stick a finger down there. Number one. Give me the old number one. And let me see if I can get some guys out the first one time through the order instead of I didn't even make it through the order twice. If that were me and I woke up today, honestly, I'd want to punch the wall with my face because I would be so embarrassed that my job is to get through the lineup 3 times. I didn't even make it if I'm Severino.
The worst thing about it is the attitude, and I'm not just saying on the field. I'm just saying,
there's no shame
or no
accountability.
I want to see somebody take a bat to a Gatorade. Take a bat, like I was telling you about the Mets beating the Cubs not too long ago. Your boy Bickford came in for Ottavino. Ottavino went
nuts.
He went nuts. They still won the game.
Yep. Because Phil did his job.
Mets aren't even close to even competing. They just sold all his friends. Ottavino was alone, and he thinks that he's got to do his job at least, even though they're out of it. Mets don't even consider themselves as contenders for the wild card. He's still out there doing his job. And when he was taken off the mound by, I almost said Lou, by Buck, he lost his mind and started hitting Gatorade. They still won the game.
Right.
He was mad at himself.
Max Scherzer struck out the side. He was mad.
There's just no accountability, personal accountability for strikeouts, personal accountability for 0 for games, personal accountability for giving up 6 runs in the 9th. And you let the PR guy go out there and smooth things over with the media so you can last for another 12 hours to go out there and do it again.
Let's put a happy spin on this. The guy I love the most on the Red Sox, well, there's a couple of them, but the guy I love the most is Rafael Devers. Have you ever seen that guy when he has a bat at bat? Oh, yeah. He looks possessed. I am about to rip my own face off because I just embarrassed the team.
On 2-1s, when he gets a pitch and swings and misses, that is the maddest you'll see, Raf.
Because he's a ball player.
And he knows that was the pitch I was waiting for. I didn't. Give it to me again.
Exactly.
Give it to me again. And you can see that on his face. You can see that almost every at-bat from April to right now.
Listen, what Paul O'Neill did when he snapped, or Sable, or any of my other teammates, the reason they did that is because they felt they failed the team.
Right.
That's not what the Yankees are doing. They feel like they failed themselves. You see the difference?
But it's still okay.
I know, but it's still
even Severino's
and my
paid.
boss. And here's the thing: our boss would never be okay with mediocrity here. We get fired.
Right.
If our ratings go down, we're getting fired. Anyway, but knowing that Aaron Boone has my back when it comes to mediocrity is a bad thing for these guys. It is. And like Dom said, Dusty Baker wouldn't put up with it. Dusty Baker will put up with the analytics people and the front office people. He's not going to put up with the personnel on the field being mediocre, and he never has.
And Boone really doesn't have the savviness, or I don't know if it's leeway or whatever, because it's kind of been the same way all the time, but people will say stuff through the media in a way where they don't have to tell their team, or he's not doing it either way. He's not telling them to their face. He's not telling it through the media. Everything's cool, man. 500 is just fine. It's just fine.
We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll do Dibbles and Bits next.